Hello, today we're talking backlights and why you should backlight, and then backlight some more. My name is Sadi and this is CineStuff. For more content like this on cinematography and lighting, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button. Alright, let's start. Backlighting is one of the most important tools in a cinematographer's lighting arsenal. A backlight is any lighting fixture, whether hard or soft, that hits our subject from the back at any angle. Just keep in mind that a backlight is different from a hair light or a side light. Those ones are considered kicker lights. The backlight's main job is to add insane separation between your subject and their background, making the subject pop out and be the main focus in our composition. The power of backlight, though, does not end here. It can also help you create a halo around your character, and also gives you the ability to do silhouettes and play around with light leaks and flares. Basically, if you don't use backlighting, you need to use backlighting. Now, we're going to see different types of backlighting examples and how you can use them in your own cinematography to improve your visual storytelling. First example, none other than the famous silhouettes. To do the silhouette effect successfully, what you need to do is underexpose your subject compared to their background. There are tons of people that use this effect in natural lighting, where you see that they place the subject in front of a sunrise or in front of a sunset. But how do you use it with an artificial light? Well, it's the same concept. All you have to do is to have the light from the back and to make sure that your subject is less exposed than its background. Another tip that could help you in this scenario is to use an ND filter or a neutral density filter on your camera or on your lens to knock down the ambient and reflected light coming on the subject. Second example is separation. It's basically when we use the backlight to separate the subject from the environment and the background. Here, the backlight creates a highlight edge on our subject. This highlight edge on the subject does not only serve the purpose of separating it from the background, but it also works on a much deeper level, where the audience now subconsciously thinks that there's a room that is lit on that side, or there's a window that is leaking some sort of light to hit our subject. This makes sure that the spectator always thinks that there's an extension of the world outside of the composition or frame that you're offering, which is exactly what we need to create an immersive environment for the spectator. The third example or way that you could use backlighting in is just have it as a stylistic choice, as in a hard light hitting the subject and creating a kind of halo around them. Tons of cinematographers and photographers use this technique to have a feeling of grandeur, or in other words, cinematicness, since this type of lighting is very popping and in your face. That's because the light doesn't look natural at all, but it looks awesome and full of life. To pull off this effect, make sure that your backlight is a hard light. That means it's not diffused. So let's say using a Fresnel lens of some sorts, and make sure to blast that backlight up just so that it's stronger than the key light or at an equal level. What we do also in these shots is make sure to use different colors for our lights. So if our key light is blue, we use the orange, or if our backlight is magenta, we use the key light as green. Just these complementary colors that go with each other to differentiate between the direction of the light coming on our subject from the front and from the back, and at the same time to create that depth and boost the feeling of three-dimensionality in our image. The fourth technique that you could use in backlighting, and the one that is the most fun for me, is to actually play around with the light leaks and flares while backlighting. This technique works really well, specifically if you're going for this really stylized, theatrical kind of scene, and the subject is silhouetted. But the difference here, your subject is going to move. And when the subject moves, the light coming out of that fixture in the back is going to hit the lens and create beautiful looking flares. And at the same time, it keeps switching light leaks on and off from right to left and just keeps changing and giving you these beautiful light rays that are at the same time creating those amazing looking flares. Of course, all of this look is completely enhanced by haze, which nobody likes to tell you about in the film industry, and I don't know why, because it's not a secret, which is weird, but whatever. All I know is I'm going to be making an episode about it soon, so make sure to watch that.
This is why I like coming to work every day.
fifth and final technique that I could think about in backlighting is making your backlight act as a key light. Having your backlight as the strongest source of light in your scene gives it that sense of realism and it gives it a really natural look. And this technique does that by giving your lighting a sense of logic. Of course, it only works in certain scenarios and not everything. But let's say, for example, you're coming down the stairs at night at like 2 a.m. in the morning wanting a drink from the fridge. Nothing is going to be lit other than upstairs. So naturally, the strongest light that you're going to have is from that staircase. And in another example, when you come back home and there's nobody in the house, you've got that light coming from the outside as you open the door in the back of your shop. And it's lighting the subject as he or she goes in from the back. Hope these examples helped. If you guys have any suggestions or ideas about how we can use backlights, please leave a comment down below. But for now, thanks for watching, and until next time, CineStuff out.